This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
My name is Amrita Koshal, and it is now time for your main newscast in detail. EPA orders EIA for Exxon's $900 million U.S. gas project. Following its review of ExxonMobil's application to proceed with the $900 million U.S. gas-to-shore project, the EPA said it has determined that an environmental impact assessment is required. The regulator said it has also approved Environmental Resources Management to conduct the EIA, while noting that it has also given authorization for the terms of reference it once used. One of the terms notes that the company must examine the introduction of increased dangers such as fire, explosion, spills, chemical, and other hazardous substances to the surrounding environment, including coastal communities. ExxonMobil is also required to investigate possible effects of the project on the demographic and the socio-economic and cultural profiles of the communities. PPP has no respect for Amerindians, according to Deputy Speaker Lennox Schumann. He said that the PPPC administration has no respect for indigenous peoples, and he called on the government to return to the negotiation table to trash out the issue regarding the agreement signed for mining activities at Marudi Mountains. He said the PPP government did not facilitate meaningful dialogue with indigenous peoples on the Marudi Mountain gold mining agreements. On November 27th, cabinet members rushed into South Rupununi following staunch criticisms on social media following the signing of an agreement between the Ministry of Natural Resources and the Canada-based gold company to prospect the land without prior consultations with residents. Oil Spill Committee launches probe into oily substance found offshore Guyana. A team attached to the National Oil Spill Committee has launched a probe into the reports of oily substances found floating offshore Guyana. The investigation was launched hours after a video surfaced showing fisherfolk operating in an area identified as Guyana's exclusive economic zone, navigating what appears to be oil floating offshore. According to the reports, the fishermen spoke of sightings of oily film floating in different points of the zone. An official close to the investigation has since revealed that though there has not been confirmation on whether the oily substance is in fact the product of a spill, the NOSC team is working assiduously to make a determination. In other stories, we now tell you, 10 years on, CGIA expansion project still milking Treasury. As the cost for the Chetty Jagan International Airport expansion project continues to climb, more than $160 million US has already been spent on the contract that started off at $150 million US. Even though the Minister of Public Works, Juan Edgehill, had promised that the total cost for the project will not exceed $200 million US, that cannot be guaranteed now, as the venture is currently a work in progress and the PPPC administration is still pumping money into it. The CGIA expansion was expected to be a $150 million US venture, $138 million US financed from the China Exim Bank, and $12 million from the Consolidated Fund, taxpayers' money. The expansion is being undertaken by the Chinese contractor China Harbor Engineering Corporation. Nurse pockets $3.2 million selling COVID-19 vaccination cards. A nurse last week admitted to police that she had sold some 50 COVID-19 vaccination cards at a price of $65,000 each, and that 12 of her colleagues at the Ministry of Health had sold some 500 as well at the same price. She, along with another nurse, was nabbed by police last week during separate sting operations selling the cards on the East Coast and East Bank of Demerara. The first was caught in the East Coast Police District last week. She was arrested and taken to the Sparrandam Police Station and had spent some 3 days in the Betavawacting police lockups. Commander of East Coast Police District Kali Parshram said that she had since been released on bail and the case file has been sent to the DPP for legal advice. The second nurse was reportedly caught on Saturday last at a snacket on the east bank of Demerara. Time check for you, 12 hours 8. We will return with more news for you shortly after the break.
Diana, join me on the Glenn Lal Show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:20 p.m. and a rebroadcast at 11 a.m. The Glenn Lal Show only on Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 and 99.5 FM.
This is GHK Lal inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues. Immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
My name is Amrita Koshal, and we now return with your main newscast in detail. Political activist Rickford Burke to sue Jagdeo for $100 million. US-based Guyanese political activist and commentator Rickford Burke had threatened to sue Vice President Barrett Jagdeo for libel one day before a wanted bulletin was issued by the police for him. Burke expressed the view that his threat to sue Jagdeo may be the reason behind the move to issue a wanted bulletin for him. In a statement, Burke said that his lawyers have been instructed to sue Jagdeo for $100 million for libel. The bulletin was issued on December 3, 2021. Burke's lawyer, UC Anderson, had written to the VP the previous day outlining his intention to take legal action against him for libel. The pre-action protocol letter addressed to Jagdeo referenced his participation in an interview with Guyanese Critic on July 16, 2021, which Anderson contends that Jagdeo names his client in a manner that, quote-unquote, specifically and expressed removed any doubt that he meant to direct the public's attention to anyone other than Rickford Burke. In the interview, the lawyer went on to say that Jagdeo inter alia stated Burke is, among other things, a racist. Suriname's pushback against President granting official seal to First Lady. Suriname's are up in arms against President Chan Santoki after he created an official seal for the office of the First Lady. First Lady Melissa Santoki now has her own seal. President Chan Santoki authorized this on October 10, 2021. The president signed a resolution that has not been publicized, reports from the neighboring country stated. The seal of the First Lady, which has become a national symbol, even bears the name Melissa Santoki Sinacheri. It was stated that it is necessary to create a seal for the institution of the First Lady, which, according to the President's decision, will contribute to the recognizability and accessibility of the institution, also helping to support the President in carrying out his constitutional duties. Suriname's, according to the reports, were not informed of this decision. The resolution deciding to create a seal for the First Lady was leaked via social media. Media reports suggest that this is at odds with the so-called transparency of the Santoki government. In other news, we now tell you, alleged election fraud case trial for Lawrence Mingo orders to commence this month. More than a year after they were charged for allegedly trying to rig the March 2, 2020 general and regional elections, the court trial for chairperson of the PNC, Volda Lawrence, former GCOM Region 4 returning officer Clement Mingo, and others is slated to commence this month. The other defendants who are expected to go on trial this month are APNU AFC activist Carl Smith Joseph, GCOM's Information Technology Officer Enrique Liven, and GCOM clerks Michelle Miller, Sheffrin February, and Denise Bab Cummings. Some of the charges the defendants are facing are misconduct in public office, conspiracy to commit fraud, forging a document, and forgery. In other stories, we now tell you Agriculture Ministry commences study to determine cause of fish shortage. Reports of fish shortage on the local markets have triggered a speedy intervention by the Ministry of Agriculture, which has since commenced a study to determine the cause of the reported shortage. Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa confirmed that work has commenced in this regard. According to the minister, a local committee has been developed to probe the situation. In fact, we were told that a meeting will be held today to discuss the way forward. And now we tell you that DDL believes cocaine was added to its rum outside of Guyana. The Demerara Distillers Limited said that the various checks and balances executed in Guyana, including its own security mechanisms employed during the packing of containers with its product at its diamond plant, would have detected the 1,100 pounds of cocaine found in a shipment of Eldorado rum last week in the Netherlands. More than 1,000 pounds of cocaine were discovered on November 25th by Netherlands authorities in a rum shipment that arrived there. According to information, cases of liquor were packed in a container and mounted onto a commercial container vessel in Guyana. James Singh, head of the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit here, however, pointed out that the container was scanned before takeoff, and based on those images and investigations conducted by his ranks, no cocaine was loaded in Guyana. The commercial container vessel had reportedly made stops in 2 other countries before it eventually arrived at a port located in Rotterdam, Netherlands. We now turn your attention to page 7 of the Kaieteur News, dedicated to being blunt. Together, the PPP and PNC leaders have witnessed and even helped orchestrate many crimes committed against Guyanese. Their day of judgment will come. They will have to answer for the many crimes they thought they had gotten away with year after year. Guyanese, take comfort in this. God don't sleep. He knows all of them, and he will deal with them. My name is Amrita Koshal, and this was your main newscast in detail.
Good day, I'm GHK Lal on Kaieteur Radio.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your